that I have concluded my cross Canada bicycle trip, to do a quick review on the bags that I used on the bike. So I'm not going to get into an in-depth on how they attach and all that. I've already gone through that in other videos. I'm just going to go through the bags, what they are, and how I feel they performed and held up after the course of almost 6,000 kilometers. So all the bags that I'm going through are were upgraded or changed from the first half of my trip that I started last year. So these bags all have about almost 6,000 kilometers of the 10,500 that I did on the total trip. So what I'll do is I'll start with the smaller bags, and then I'll work my way to the workhorse bags, the Ortlieb back roller classics. So I'm going to start off with the Jones H bar. It's the loop bag. It goes inside the Jones H bar. It's specifically made for these bars, so it fits perfectly into the center loop. As far as this bag goes, I really can't say anything too negative about it. It was on the bar, it was used every day, opened and closed, God, I don't know, dozens of times, I would say some days, but definitely opened and closed many times. It's held up well. The only thing I would say is that it feels like the material has gotten a little more brittle, just from being out in the sun every day. But other than that, the zipper has held really well. I did notice a couple times in some heavy downpours that there was a little bit of water inside, but nothing that would damage your phone or anything like that. And I'm talking heavy downpours. So I would say I'm going to give all the bags a rating out of 10. And I would say I'd give this one a 8.5 rating out of 10. The only reason I won't give it a perfect rating is because, like I said, the material does feel a little brittle now. But definitely highly recommend this bag if you are using the Jones H bar. So I'll give you a little close-up look at it. It's a very simple bag, hooks up in 4 spots. You can change the location of where it hooks up. Very easy to open zipper. 1 compartment inside, that's it. It was perfect for my phone, my camera, my wallet, all that stuff that I wanted to keep really handy and you know, at easy access. So yeah, the Jones H bar loop bag, definitely recommend it. I can't remember the price, but I do have a review where I did do some other reviews of these bags. I will put a link in the description to the bags if I can find one. But yeah, Jones H bar bag, definitely recommend it. Yeah, so the next bag is the Ovea Negra Chuck Bucket. You can use it for food, drink, whatever you'd like, camera, gear, battery, stuff like that. I use this one primarily for liquids. Ideally, I would like to have one on the other side of the stem, but my current setup with my brake cable and shifter cable don't allow me to run one on the other side. But I would definitely say a rating, I would give this a 9 or 10 out of 10. There's really not much to complain about. So it attaches in 3 spots, one on the stem, one on the handlebar, and then this one can either go around your head tube, or in my case, I put it around the front rack. It was just easier with my setup. So Ovea Negra Chuck Bucket, 9 out of 10, and I highly recommend it. They make a bunch of other products that I actually would like to try out in the future. But yeah, this was a really handy tool on my trip, so definitely recommend the Ovea Negra Chuck Bucket. The next bag that was up front on the cockpit was the Revelate Designs Salty Roll. So in here I kept my sleeping bag and my tent. Really not much I can say. It's a double roll closure, so on each end it rolls up. It's a dry bag essentially with 2 closure ends. So I definitely highly recommend it. There's not a lot I can say. I would give this a 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's just how it closes up. Very simple. It's got your daisy chains on top, so you can lash it to the rack no problem. But yeah, I definitely, so for the Revelate Design Salty Roll, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 because there's nothing I can say bad about it. It's held up perfectly. All the closures were great. Completely waterproof 100%. So Revelate Designs Salty Roll, excellent bag, excellent quality, and actually their prices are very reasonable in my opinion compared to some of the prices out on today's market. So Revelate Designs Salty Roll. So up front I was also using the Salsa EXP series anything cage bag. It comes in at around 50 bucks Canadian. I just mentioned that because I happen to remember that, but honestly guys, there's probably a 9 out of 10 I would give these. They're bulletproof, they held up great. In here I kept my jet boil and a gas container. And then the other bag, there's two of these that I had. You'll have seen them on the bike if you've watched on the fork. And in the other one I kept my twig stove and my French press coffee maker. So there's excellent bags. They have a hard bottom. The straps are bulletproof. They held up great. No signs of failing or breaking or anything like that. It's a dry bag with the roll top closure. So yeah, not a lot that can go wrong with these. They're a little dirty right now, but as you can see, it's got the hard solid bottom, and they sit on the EXP anything cage perfectly, fit in there. Great integrated system. Not much I can say. These really did work perfectly the way I thought they would. So if anybody's looking for some front bags for the forks that aren't as bulky as the front pannier bag system, and you have the mounts for stuff on your forks, then I would highly recommend the Salsa Anything Series cage and bag. So worked great, no complaints whatsoever, highly recommend. So one thing I'm going to cover really quickly, guys, is my backpack. And I say quickly because I had a lot of comments from people saying that they can't stand wearing a backpack when they ride, and I would agree with them 100%. It's definitely not the best way to go. The main reason I had this backpack was for my laptop. Being gone all summer, I had to edit videos on the road. I needed a peace of mind that my laptop wasn't going to get ruined. Last year I had them in my pannier bags, and I just felt, you know, if the bike ever fell, went down in a bad crash, I don't know, I just felt they could get broken there more easily. So this is the Osprey Radial cycling specific backpack. It is a great backpack. It was taken on and off dozens of times. It fits great, but at the end of the day, having a backpack on is just not the best way to go. Shoulders get sore by the end of the day no matter what. You sweat a lot, even though it's got a great system on it. I'll just show you really quickly on the back. It is made for cycling the way it's designed. So you do get some good ventilation through the back, but other than that though, it's still wearing a backpack. So, but like I said, I would give this flying colors. As far as a quality backpack, it's made by Osprey. The series is Radial, and I would highly recommend anybody looking for a backpack for commuting or anything like that. So Osprey Radial, great pack. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, so now we're going to kind of move on to the workhorse bags, the ones that were carrying the most load and the ones that, in my opinion, would take the most beating. So the first bag is the Ortlieb frame bag. This is a medium size, I believe, so it's 5 liters. There's really not a lot to say about it. I'll definitely give this a 9 out of 10. The only reason I won't give it a 10 out of 10 is because the zipper is a little hard to undo and do up, but I believe that's just because of the complete waterproofness of these bags. So I have no issue with it being that hard to open, but it is a common complaint I've heard from many. The straps on the bag are good. I noticed that it didn't cause too much wear to the frame. Obviously when you're riding every day on a cross-Canada trip, there's going to be some wear and tear from the bags moving around and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, the bag is hard to open, but it's not too bad. So it's one compartment inside, and like I said, so in here I kept my tube. Inside this bag I kept my tube, my tools, saw, knife, lube, rag for the chain breaker, a whole bunch of stuff. So basically the maintenance for my bike was kept in here, and then I also shoved snacks and GoPro batteries in here at times as well, amongst other things. So the Ortlieb frame bag, medium, 5 liter, I definitely give it a 9, even 10 out of 10. Like I said, it is actually a really good bag. It's completely 100% waterproof, never any issues with that. So Ortlieb frame bag, top marks. Alright guys, so now we're going to move on to what, like I said, kind of the workhorse bags of the whole operation, and that is the Ortlieb Back Roller Classic 20 liter rear panniers. So yeah, not a lot I can say as far as negative about these. The only thing that I would say that is a little negative about them, and I'll come up close and show you, is sometimes the straps get hooked up like this on the back, and when you go to pick it up, it gets caught on these, and it might seem like a little thing, but it can be a pain in the butt especially when it's on the bike and they get caught behind there and you have another bag on the top of the rack. It can be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but not a game breaker. But other than that, I'll give them top marks. I think the common thing with any pannier bag when you're out in the sun is this material gets really hot and then it gets more flexible. The bags become a little less secure on the rack and they will start moving more once this material heats up. But I had different rack bags and they did the same thing. I was kind of hoping maybe the ortliebs would be a bit better, but it's the exact same thing. So the main difference with the ortlieb and the main reason I did change is because of the way they attach. This is a much better system, and then the way it clips on the rack at the back is definitely better. The Thules were held by magnet and they just were not an effective system. I wish this had a little more of a way where when you're on a bumpy road you could flip something over and it would stay on the rack totally, because right now if you hit a big bump, no matter what position I turn this, I've worked it in all ways to see if I could get a better orientation, and if you hit a big bump, especially once the bags get hot like I was talking about and the material wants to move more, the bags will pop off the bottom and then you have to stop and put them back on. So I find for rail trails, some of the rougher ones, that can be a pain in the butt. So just keep that in mind, that when you're on bumpy roads that could happen. So with these, I definitely give them an 8 out of 10. And that's just, the 8 is because of that problem there and then the problem with that staying on the bottom. But otherwise, they were awesome bags, and for full disclosure, they should be. They're one of the more expensive bags on the market. Again, all these bags have the same distance on them, about almost 6,000 kilometers, used every single day. So that's kind of, to me, the best testing grounds for these bags, was the fact that I was on them every day, using them, taking them on and off, rain, all conditions, dust, mud, anything you can think of, it was thrown at them. And they all came through with flying colors. Nothing failed. So if you're looking for bags, I highly recommend any of the bags that I showed you today. And the ortlieb back roller classic panniers are definitely a good bag and are considered to be one of the better bags by most on the market. So anyways, guys, I kind of know I rolled through this real quick, but if you have any questions at all, throw me a comment in the descriptions below and I'll be glad to answer them. I know I didn't get into detail as far as how they go on and all that. I think they're all pretty simple and I don't really think I need to do all that stuff. And if you have any questions on any of the bags, just let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So anyways, guys, that is the bag review for my summer setup riding across Canada. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, my name is Dean. I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And it'd also be great if you might consider checking out my Patreon page. It could really help the channel out a lot. So anyways, guys, I hope you're getting out there and doing something you love, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.